All right, y'all. So this one right here, this is one of them reports right here where it's like, oh wait, hold up, Fluence, chill. Like I could have swore you just dropped a video yesterday saying Andy Ruiz was finna be fighting Dereck Chisora. Look, I'm always gonna be 100 with my Black Goose TV family, man. Y'all know when it comes to boxing reports, when it comes to certain matchups being made or certain potential fights that are in the works, you know what I'm saying? It's always speculation when it comes to these particular reports. It's always what ifs. It's always maybe. But I want you guys to understand, or at the very least, get from any of these videos when I'm talking about it, is that look, there's a reason why we get into the details and the nitty gritty of it. We don't go too detail specific on it, but just enough so we understand whether or not the initial report has any truth bearing behind it. This joint right here, right? Andy Ruiz Jr. versus Luis Ortiz, it does have some legitimacy to it. The same way Chisora versus Andy Ruiz had legitimacy to it, okay? Eddie Hearn reported himself. Hey, I sent the contract offer to PBC, to Andy Ruiz's team. We just waiting to hear something back. So, excuse me. So, with that being the case, there was a possibility of that fight being made if Ruiz and his team entertained it. Okay. As of today, as you guys can see over here on the screen, Andy Ruiz decided not to entertain the offer for Chisora. Can you blame him? Maybe not. Also, it's PBC. So I doubt it's really Ruiz's choice not to fight Chisora. But PBC, I'm sure, is looking at this from the aspect of, well, we can do I feel like I be repeating myself so much sometimes because I'm like, it's business. So it's like we're talking about two different promotions. Are we going to split the money down the middle? And we know Chisora when he's this fight more than Andy Ruiz. So the zone don't give a fuck. Or we're going to keep it in-house and just keep all the money inside, right? And PBC is a staple for doing that exactly. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't doubt at all Eddie Hearn sent an offer to PBC. And I actually don't doubt at all that they looked at it. But as of today, Luis Ortiz came out and said, hey, yo, look, I'm back from surgery. I want the Anthony Joshua fight. So that's what Luis said, right? We all know that Anthony Joshua's two interim options is Otto Wallen and Joe Joyce. Ain't no Luis Ortiz in sight. Obviously, it comes down once again to the whole promotional type shit, okay? So what does that mean for Luis? We've been hearing about speculation of Andrew Ruiz Jr. versus Luis Ortiz for almost a year and a half. You know what I'm saying? After he beat Anthony Joshua, we heard about it. Then when he lost to Anthony Joshua, we heard about it. We've heard about this fight forever. We thought it might be Luis Ortiz versus Andrew Ruiz, but he ended up fighting Chris Arreola, right? So we've been hearing about this for a minute. So I don't know if this is really the real deal or if this is once again bullshit because we've heard it before. But what I am going to do for y'all family, I'm going to go ahead and get into the nitty gritty of this article so we can take a look at it and we can decipher for ourselves how true, how realistic this potential report is. Because goddamn it, I was excited as hell. Y'all see me, I was cheering for Dereck Chisora like, hell yeah. I can't wait for this joint. Chisora versus Ruiz, a banger. Now, I do think stylistically, Ruiz versus Chisora is much more pleasing and pleasant to the eyes. I actually think Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz, as much as I'm interested from a boxing intellect side of the game, is watching that fight, I'm not as entertained as Chisora versus Ruiz. That would have been an all-out motherfucking war, okay? This now is going to be a little bit more technical. It's going to be a little bit more safe, but I also see Ortiz having somewhat of an advantage because of his jab, southpaw, all that good stuff. That's not what we're getting into, though, right, family? What we're getting into is let's find out how legitimate this report is, okay? And the only way we're going to find that out is what did this goddamn writer end up writing to actually make this particular title that they have seem like it is legit. So let's get right into it, guys. I already know what I'm about, and I'm about the truth, god damn it. Promoter Eddie Hearn says Andy Ruiz Jr. is going toward facing King Kong Ortiz. So once again, we have the infamous Eddie Hearn giving us the news that nobody else wants to get. I swear to God, Eddie Hearn, he knows everything about boxing. He tells you everything. He got all the man. If you just, it's like just follow Eddie Hearn. Hear what Eddie Hearn has to say. Report what he has to say. You probably gonna have a real. But anyway, Eddie Hearn says Andy Ruiz Jr. is going toward facing Luis King Kong Ortiz next, rather than the fight he hoped the former IBF, WBA, WBO heavyweight champion Andy would take against Dereck Chisora. So they go on to say in this article, this will be an easy fight for Ruiz, whose punch resistance seems to have abandoned him after a dramatic weight loss. I don't know about that, just because he got caught with one shot from Chris Arreola. That's a very interesting take on that particular. Hearn spoke with Al Heyman's associate, Louis DeCubas, and he believes Ruiz will be fighting the former two-time title challenger King Kong next rather than 38-year-old War Chisora, according to Michael Benson. Sean Jones approves of the Luis Ortiz versus Andy Ruiz Jr. fight. The inactive 32-year-old Ruiz would have gained nothing. Like I said, had he agreed to fight the shot to pieces British Jesus, shot to pieces journeyman. I don't know about all that. Y'all don't got to be so disrespectful to War Chisora. He's a goddamn legend, considering he's lost his last 3 fights. Had Ruiz taken the fight with Chisora, the only thing he would have gotten out of the match would have been a payday, and it wouldn't have increased the chances of getting a rematch with Anthony Joshua. Does beating Luis Ortiz increase the chances at getting, the Anthony Joshua rematch is out the door. Joshua literally has to be in a very, very bad position for him to just be like, ooh, I need the Andy Ruiz rematch. Ain't nobody checking for that. That is not going to happen again. Andy Ruiz, if he's taking fights hoping to get that rematch again, then who is his management team? Who is his promoters? Why would you even make him think that? Anyways, I'm sorry. Based off of that particular article, I'm going to have to say that this is a pretty legit headline. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty legit. So it looks like Andy Ruiz is not going the Chisora route. He's going to be going the Luis Ortiz route. Now, whether or not this actually ends up being made, that's going to be all on Andy Ruiz. It also has to depend on the time frame and timeline, because I think Ortiz just got cleared to start training again because he had surgery. I think it was on his hand or something after the Charles Martin fight. So I think he just got cleared for training. So if we were thinking about a realistic time frame for Ruiz versus Ortiz, I'm thinking like September or something like that, August, if that's a real possibility. But I want to ask you guys, family. I want to ask you guys personally. Let me point straight to the motherfucking camera. I want to ask you, what would you guys be more interested when it comes to Andy Ruiz Jr.'s next matchup? Do you want to see him fight Luis Ortiz, or would you rather see him fight Dereck Chisora? Me personally, I think Chisora is a much more appealing to the eye. I think it's a lot more entertaining. That's me personally, but I want to know what you guys think. So drop it in the comment below. Who would you guys rather see Andy Ruiz Jr. face, Ortiz or Chisora? I want to know your opinion. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I am out like a bad